quiet down. First off, I'd just like to go ahead and start off with some thank yous. Right away, first I'd like to thank my wife and family who could not be here tonight. They give me permission to come out here and spend my time with your young men. And if I didn't get that, I wouldn't be out here. It's a lot of time away from my family, and they're super supportive with letting me come out here and teach your young men. I'd like to thank the athletic directors, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Noble, especially Ms. Chopper. She basically runs the entire athletic department. So if anything gets done, it's really because of her. I'd like to thank Kirk, our trainer, Coach Maloney and the varsity coaching staff for their guidance and issues both on and off the field this year, especially on Thursday nights, being up in the box. To the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and whoever else committed their time to help making playing football possible for the football players this season. To my fellow JV and freshman coaches, Coach Church, Coach Hall, Coach Evans, Coach Peters, Coach Dudley, and especially Coach Weirda. Coach Weirda was the head JV coach last year, and he was unbelievably helpful with helping me get things started this year, from paperwork to stuff that you guys don't see. Matter of fact, he even wrote this speech. So, I mean, he's just super dedicated. So if you don't like it, I can blame him. And finally, to the athletes. Guys, this season has been unbelievable for me to kind of get back into this role, and you made it fun this year, all right? Not all the time, all right? You can ask my wife. Sometimes I can't always say it, but for the most part, I had a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and do things a little differently. Before I start talking about the season, I want to go ahead and bring you guys up and introduce the players before I talk about the accomplishments that they had this season. So, okay. First up, Cody Burton. Blake Carter. Tyler Cole.
He had a boot on.
Kentavis Ellis. Andrew Fragging. Justin Hughes. Brendan Jackson. Malachi Jace. Jacob Kruger. Justin LaRue. Jordan Maldonado. Trent Mays. Austin Newberry. Joey Rodriguez. Torres Simpson. Devin Sutter. Dylan Tenayuke. Dylan, I mean. Bryce Tomzak. Alex Zeros. Jacob Unger. Alex Weidman. Chance Wilborn. And Mitch Wise. Okay guys, just stay up here for a second. I want to go ahead and start off by just talking a little bit about how this season started. In order to do that, I have to kind of talk about expectations. Going into the season, I'd be lying if I said that we had high expectations right off the bat. We'd only be returning 6 stars on each side of the ball and had several players who would be stepping up into those roles who had little or no game time experience from the previous season. We had players out of position because we had no other option. We were thin in numbers and in experience. So needless to say, at the JV level, expectations were low. However, myself and the young men before you today discovered that those expectations sometimes are nothing more than excuses for failing. People say we're not supposed to be very good. So in some way, it's okay to fail. It's not okay to approach this game or life in that way. Your expectations should simply identify the obstacles and challenges that you face so that you can prepare to overcome them. And in many ways, that is exactly what this team did this year. We chose not to measure our success by wins and losses, but by our ability to be competitive. Being competitive meant we had to work hard as a team, have no excuses, play with intensity, know your responsibilities, and trust others will do the same. If we did those things, we would see success. I feel we played much of the season this way. And when we struggled most, it was when we lost sight of these goals. When we stuck to this formula, we could beat anyone. Look at Davison, who was undefeated going into week 8. We held on to win with a goal line stance and then ran the last 5 minutes off the clock with our offense. We nearly doubled our offensive points from last year to this year. We beat and competed against some of the very best that high school football has to offer. We were in position to win all but one game. So if you ask me, Coach, were you successful this season? I would say yes, beyond all expectations. One of the most important aspects of playing both JV and freshman football is about growing as individuals, both on and off the field. I felt that our players made huge strides in their abilities on the field this season. As a team, I saw enormous improvements being made that make me excited for the future that this group has. However, these gains will easily be lost without dedication in the offseason. It's critical for all players here tonight to put in the work over the next 9 months to get prepared for the next season. Only through this kind of hard work can football teams truly have success. Success at the next level comes from talent and skill. Oftentimes, teams that are successful their JV and freshman year are the most talented. Talent is what you are born with. Things are just easier for you to do. However, skill will almost always win out over talent at the next level. Skill is only developed through hard work and hours at working at your craft, approaching this off-season with ridiculous work ethic. While others are partying, sleeping, on the phones, watching TV, you need to be working. That may mean you are in the weight room, playing other sports, getting up for that morning run, or hitting the books to study for a test. Choose to be successful. Decide what you're going to be and expect no less from yourself. Don't give excuses for not being at workouts or for failing classes. Losers give excuses. You guys are not that. Finally, I'd like to remind all the athletes here tonight that in 2 years, these two groups are going to make up the varsity football team here at Heritage High School. You are all the future of this football program. I cannot encourage you enough to come together to support each other here at Heritage High School. A football program is about building a family, and these two groups need to form bonds as brothers. If you have not already, you need to start thinking of yourselves as one unified team, because before you know it, that's exactly what you will be. Thank you, have a great night, and I hope to see you all next season.
Take a bow. Take a bow. I got this. Good. Take a bow. Y'all taking a bow now?
I'll do it.
I'm going to end with just a couple clerical things quick. We mentioned in both of our speeches getting into the weight room. Coach Maloney mentioned that I think about the second week of November the weight room will open after school for kids who are not in other sports. Even if they are in other sports, they can certainly still do maintenance weightlifting throughout the course of those seasons. So we're going to encourage you to, again, as players, as parents, get them in the weight room, all right, so that we get them there. If they're playing another sport, that's great. We encourage as many three-sport athletes as we can. But they could still maintenance lift over the course of those seasons as well. Lastly, we did equipment pickup today, and we had a number of people not show up to turn in equipment today. As parents, that's probably a major concern for you because you're the one who will see a fine show up on the account at some point in the future. So I'm going to stay after tomorrow, immediately after school. I think probably one or two other coaches will as well. So for faces we didn't see today, we'll try and do a mop-up session tomorrow right after school so that we can get the rest of the equipment taken care of. That way nobody has to worry about trying to hunt it down 3 and 4 weeks later and where did it go and all that sort of thing. So with those things said, we want to say thank you everybody for attending tonight. We had a great season, all right, both levels. We appreciate your support and we look forward to all of that support in the upcoming season. So thank you, all right, have a good night, and we appreciate everything you've done.